put a lot of thought into what I was going to do my speech over during spring break. And I wanted to find something to do the speech over that would affect everybody. And the only thing that I could come up with while I was stressing over the speech topic was stress. And especially right now, at this time of the year, when we're hitting the second half of the semester and everything is so crunch, there's nobody that's not affected by stress. Everybody is affected by stress. Even the definition of stress is that it's the body's reaction to the smallest change of the environment around us. And it's basically, it's a safety mechanism that the body has that gives you your abilities to fight off things and to cope. The hypothalamus is a little organ at the very back of the brain. It's a very tiny one at the top of the brain stem. And as soon as the body realizes that it's in stress, the hypothalamus sends signals so that it starts producing hormones. Some of the hormones that it produces is the adrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisol, and glucagon. Adrenaline and norepinephrine are two of the most important hormones that it produces because that gives us our flight or fight. Whenever we're into a situation or danger or trauma, the flight or fight kicks in. The adrenaline hits and it gives you the ability to cope with it. And it's even been said that it gives you the ability to lift up to 3 times your body weight. The hormones affect different things. The hormones that hit the body after the stress, they affect weight gain, loss, they affect your appetite, they affect blood pressure, blood sugar is even affected by it, anxiety, physical pain, and you can even have flu-like symptoms from stress. WebMD states that 43% of all adults have gotten stress-related illnesses, and 75 to 90% of all doctors' office visits are because of stress-related conditions. They're actually not illnesses, they're stress-related conditions. Stress has been linked to the following physical illnesses as well: high blood pressure, low blood pressure, heart attack, migraines, chronic fatigue syndrome. Post-traumatic stress disorder is another big one. A lot of the people that have come back from overseas in the war have had post-traumatic stress. A lot of the 9/11 survivors have had post-traumatic. It's when an event happens that the body can't, so much stress happens at one time that it overloads the brain, basically, and the body can't deal with it living anymore. Can't deal with the normal way of life anymore. You need to be aware of the warning signs of stress. It doesn't matter how young you are. We're all young, but y'all are a lot younger than me. But you still need to be aware of the signs. And everybody thinks that stress can't hit them, but it can. And right now is the time when you can make a difference in your life because you're young. You've got the time to do it. They include dizziness, or where you feel like you're just out of it sometimes or not really with it, feeling of faint or flushed, where you have muscle pains in the neck, the face, or in the back, the headaches, sleeping trouble, acid reflux or persistent heartburn, racing heart or irritability. And if you have a question, you need to go ahead and check with your doctor just in case. Stress accelerates the following conditions too, and for emotional and psychological disorders. Exasperates schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, feelings of despair, suicidal tendencies, and anxiety disorder. It affects our body in so many ways that most of us don't even realize what it's doing to us. There's several things that we can do to help control stress, and I know we've all heard these things 100 times, and we all think that just old adages and silly. But really, they're things that you need to take to heart and start practicing now. Sometimes just be aware to recognize the symptoms of stress. When you have problems, sit back, take a deep breath. Sometimes when you start feeling so overwhelmed that you start feeling tense, take a 5 deep breaths. So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth real slow. This also helps the body to rejuvenate the oxygen supply and the bloodstream. Make a list of things. Right now, like I said, it's hard because we're hitting the crunch of the semester. There's so many small things that we can do. Set yourself goals, make yourself lists, and treat yourself after you complete them. I had a doctor tell me one time that what I needed to do every day, he wrote me a prescription, and I still have it, that what I needed to do is every day do something nice for me to break that monotony. Accepting responsibility for the things that we can change is another major key role and thing that we can do to prevent stress and its effects on our body. Drink plenty of fluids, sleep, get your 8 hours of sleep, leave 20 minutes out earlier in the morning so that you're not late, start your assignments earlier. There's so many things that we can do that are just small. Set aside 30 minutes every day for exercise 3 times a week. And if we don't have it, a lot of us don't, but some of you may have small children and it's hard to make that time. But what you have to do is you have to turn it into an activity so that you teach your kids. Right now is the time, and as you're young, you get into the habits yourself, and as your children grow, then you'll teach them these habits as well. Instead of going to the movies, take them roller skating and walk everywhere you can, or bicycle. Make house cleaning like a game and let everybody be involved. Let everybody choose the songs, turn the stereo up. Just anything to get them active and out from in front of the TV, because so many children today are just staying in front of the TV, and obesity's gotten to be a problem. Another major thing is your diet. We all need to be watching our diet a little bit better and eating a salad when we go to McDonald's instead of grabbing the Big Mac, or maybe an apple instead of the Snickers. There's asparagus, broccoli, a lot of the grains and protein are essential for a healthy diet. Make it a well-rounded diet. If you're wanting to diet, right now won't be the time because of the stress that you're already under, and disappointment comes too easy. Eat 5 small meals a day. Don't stop eating or cut back to like 1 meal a day. You eat 5 small meals a day. There's also bananas, apples are always good to provide the vitamins. You want to make sure that you take a multivitamin as well, because stress does deplete the body of the vitamins that it holds. Carbohydrates are necessary when you have your exercise times, but any other time you can kind of cut back on the carbs if you're wanting to diet. Like I said, substitute your apple or your banana for your sugar. And because stress is something that also affects your blood sugar. If you have a problem with blood sugar, the stress can exacerbate it as well. Here lately I've made some changes in my life because I'm not getting any younger. But I happened to stop and think the other day, have I taught my children? And I remember when I was growing up, my dad always told me, don't sweat the small stuff. And I didn't understand what he was talking about until after I got grown. And when I started getting older and feeling the signs of stress, then I began to understand what he meant by it. Because it does affect us so severely sometimes. I hope that all of you have learned a few things that you can do to change your diet and your way of life and make it a practice so that maybe we can all live a healthier life.